G'day people and welcome, I'm Sharon. Today I'm threading my Janome MC9000 10000. It threads exactly the same way as the 10001 and is very similar in how it threads to the 9000 and the 8000. Those two varied in terms of their needle threaders, and unfortunately I don't have them available to show you at this time. Let's get started. Open the lid. This is where the thread goes. Got all the feet in containers that are there deliberately for that. I'm going to start using blue thread to wind a bobbin. Use the plastic Janome bobbins. It's important that you use the correct size and shape of bobbins, and they do vary between companies. There are lots that just do not work on these machines, or that you can't wind a bobbin properly on. My thread goes in with the thread actually coming out from under the reel. This is a particularly large reel of thread in terms of how long it is on the spindle. This would be the normal piece that you would use to hold it on there. If you try to put it that way, it doesn't stay. You can put them going in the other direction and it may be good enough. It may hold it in place. If it doesn't, Janome now makes a small piece that goes inside the end of these reels, and it works really well. To wind a bobbin, we need to take this thread and we're going to follow the broken line which goes around the back, and there is a picture of a bobbin. Like you're flossing, go in there and then pull it forward through this little guide. Give it a tug to make sure it's properly in there. Then we go around the back and over. This is the spindle for winding bobbins. I'm going to take the end of my thread, fold it in half and give it a twist, and that gives me a nice sturdy piece of thread, and I can use that to go from the inside to the outside of the bobbin through one of the holes. Onto my winder and click it across. The machine has to be on. I have two choices. I can have the foot pedal plugged in which case I just put my foot on the pedal, but what I tend to do is to use the start-stop button. I have continued holding that until there is enough thread on there to hold everything nice and secure. I then use scissors to cut it off nice and close to the bobbin. Then back to my start-stop button. When the bobbin is getting full, it stops. It doesn't click itself back, but it does stop when there's enough pressure on the edge of it. If your bobbins are not winding to have a lot of thread on them, then you may need to get a technician to move the little guide in there. Click it back over to the left. Lift the bobbin off the pin, and there is a cutter here. So that cuts the thread off. I'll put that into the bobbin case in a little while. I'm going to change this to a red thread. So same thing to thread the main body of the machine. Thread is coming from underneath, and I'm going to use the small spool pin holder. Take this, once again, it's like I'm flossing. Go through here, but now I am following the unbroken line which comes down to the front. There's a 1 here, 2, 3 is down at the bottom of the purple bit, which depending on the machine can be slightly different colours, up and around 4. Now you'll notice I've got 2 hands holding that. And I'm doing that on purpose because I want to make sure that that thread is firmly into the tension discs, which are in here. You'll see here there's a marking that says 5, and that is to allow for this little wiggle just into this piece. And then there is a guide above the needle. There are actually 2 guides here. There's one on the left and one on the right. Most of the time we use the one on the left. The one on the right is if you have 2 threads going in order to use a twin needle. And now we're ready to thread the needle. Press the needle threader. It comes down. These are brilliant needle threaders. I've had this machine for a long time and it always works. We go under a hook on the right, straight across in front of the needle, up, around behind this red arrow. It actually sits between the 2 pieces of plastic there, and there's a little knife in there to cut the thread off. After I've done that, I raise the needle threader. It has pulled a loop to the back, and I just grab hold of that loop and pull it through. To put the bobbin in, there's an arrow just behind this little black grid. What we need to do is pull that little black grid over to the right, and it releases the bobbin cover. Janome have very nicely drawn a picture on there that shows the thread coming off the bobbin and going down to the left. That is what I want my bobbin to do. So here's my bobbin and here's my thread coming down to the left. I place the bobbin into the bobbin case, bring the thread down to about 4 o'clock, then just carry it all the way around to 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. It has to go in that little hole there. There's another arrow there that's indicating it goes around in that direction. Put the bobbin cover back on, so it goes in the left side first and then clicks down. You'll notice the thread is still sitting up here. There's actually a little place in the bobbin cover that allows it to be there and be moving. I'm going to hold my needle thread and press the needle up down button, which is the one with the arrows going up and down, once, twice, and pull it up, and that has pulled my bobbin thread to the top. Take both threads into the foot and out to the back, and we're finished. Threading the MC10000 is that easy. As I mentioned before, I don't actually have the 8000 and 9000 needle threaders available to show you at the moment. If I come across them, I will do some short videos on how to use those needle threaders. So, hope you've learned something today, and I'll see you next time.